Joe in Joliet, you're on Can't Do It. Who's your question for?
My question is for Parkins.
Okay.
With all the problems with the Bulls and Portis and Nico Mirotic, who at the Score would you like to punch in the face?
Oh, boy.
Rick Camp. Thanks for calling.
It wouldn't be Can't Do It without a side swipe at Rick Camp.
And he's been annoying me lately with these troll jobs from a Sox fan perspective, denying that it's not because of a Sox.
They have nothing else to do, Danny. Don't worry.
Yeah. 312-644-6767. David in Peoria. David, you're on the Score.
Hey, thanks, guys. Really enjoy the show.
Thanks, David.
Question is for Spiegel. Last week, someone asked who the biggest bag in the Cubs locker room was, and you said Rizzo. Why do you think Rizzo is the biggest bag in the Cubs locker room?
You're a good listener. That's a well-played game.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
For the record, we got about 7 of those calls today.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
That's how you play the game.
That is how you play the game.
That's how you
listen
play the
for
game.
when we bite our tongue, and then you try to call us on it, and you see if we'll spill the beans or if we got to take it down.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's just
good job by David in Peoria.
Yeah, good job. There's just there was one item that I know about, and that's all.
All right. Ethan in Wheeling, who's your question for?
This is for Matt.
Hi, Ethan. Go.
Hi, Matt. Hey, man. Drawing from your own experience and based on what you've gathered from Danny Parkins and who he is as a human, if you had to give me a percentage, what do you think are the chances that his wife ends up leaving him?
Oh, my God.
You're a sick, twisted individual, Ethan. I didn't know where that was going. Like, based on Spiegel's experience in divorce, then what he knows about me, what it says that she leaves me. That was a well-worded question. That was a well-worded question, my friend. And I hate you.
While I do have some opinions on Danny's particular level of life experience / maturity, just by who he is, on the age range, I get every sense that his relationship is very, very open and honest and real. So, as long as he's honest and they talk about stuff, and he seems to be very in love with her.
So 0%?
No. But
what's the percentage?
10%.
10%.
10%.
Oh.
10%.
Ethan, not satisfied with the answer.
I've never seen any instance of you like lying, cheating, stealing, any of the kind of things that would be deal breakers in marriages.
I appreciate you saying that.
Your obsessive nature in terms of like paying attention to your job and your career and stuff. I'm sure she's aware of that already.
That's been a problem before.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. And listen, statistically speaking,
that's why I went 10%.
10% is a compliment.
That's a gift.
So let's go to Sam. Sam, you're on Can't Do It. Who's your question for?
Rick Camp.
All right.
Hello.
Rick.
Yes.
I got a question for you. While the guys were interviewing Chase Carter live in studio, which one of them do you think was having the dirtiest thoughts go through their head?
I'm sorry, what was the scenario again?
Was that?
I asked, when the guys were interviewing Chase Carter live in the studio, the Sports Illustrated model,
yes.
Which one of the guys do you think was having the dirtiest thoughts go through their head?
Which one of us has a filthier mind, essentially, when the Sports Illustrated model was here?
I'm going to go with Spiegel.
What the hell is that? What is that about?
Well, I think part of it's just purely by proximity. You were physically sitting closer.
I was sitting closer.
All right,
probably fairly equal, though.
Asked and answered. You asked the follow-up there, frankly.
That's true.
Let's see here. Grady in Aurora. Grady, you're on Can't Do It. Who's your question for?
Hey, my question's for Spiegel.
Yes, sir.
All right, so when you were a kid, during your lunch time in, like, middle school, elementary school, or whatnot, what's the nastiest concoction you ate?
The nastiest food concoction I ate as a kid? I don't actually, I can't really think of one as a kid. I'll give you one as an adult, though, if you want. I remember one night I made, I was looking around and there was some old bratwurst. So I sauteed the bratwurst because I didn't have a grill at the time. I put them in a tortilla with some pepper jack cheese and then the only condiment that made sense to me was some blueberry mustard. And I remember like eating that and then telling my wife at the time what I was eating, and she said, "What the hell is wrong with you?" But like that kind of thing. I've made sandwiches out of things that don't deserve to be sandwiches a lot in my life. Maybe that's not even that bad.
No, I mean, you had a specific answer to the question, so I will give you credit for that.
That's where my brain went.
I don't know what I would answer to that.
I had a roommate in my 20s who used to put butter and sugar in a pan and just warm it up and then eat that with a spoon.
And?
Wait. Butter and sugar.
It's the basics, the very basics, man.
What does it turn into? Like, what do you? What
sugar butter, Danny?
Sugar butter. Okay.
I mean, it's the basis of caramel. I think if you cook it long enough.
Okay.
I believe.
Is with your hands or with a spoon, with a fork? How do you consume the sugar?
Spoon.
Okay.
He heated it up and then let it cool down a little bit, and then ate the butter and sugar together.
Wow. All right.
It's remarkable.
Joe, you're on. Can't do it. Might be the last question, depending on what it is. What's your question?
It's for Danny.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. I'm supposed to ask that.
So, in all the Syracuse, any Kansas City sports teams, what is the worst thing that you've seen an athlete do that has been unreported?
The worst thing you've seen an athlete do that's been unreported.
I don't want to hem and haw for the entire segment. The first thing that popped into my mind is, those they're not hoverboards because those haven't been exist yet. Those things where you like roll around. Cam Newton does them down the street. What are they called?
They call them hoverboards, even though they're not.
Okay, they're not hoverboards because Back to the Future. The Royals got those, and everybody had them, and they were playing around with them in the clubhouse. And a clubhouse attendant, like as he was like carrying like a bunch of like towels and stuff over it, like kicked one of the players' hoverboards, and the player said to him, "That hoverboard's worth more than your life."
Oh, see.
And I was just like, "Are you serious? Like, how? Why would you say
worth
that?
More than your life?"
Yeah, like why would you say that? Like even if you're joking, like it's just
what an entitled pipsqueak bag that guy is.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, thank you, well played.
Yeah,
I was just like, that is just so unnecessary.
That's so
like,
awful.
Guys literally carrying your towels, like, and you say it with a smile on your face, but like, come on. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Maybe I've seen something worse, but
I don't know how else to say it, man. You sound like an entitled pipsqueak bag.
That guy does sound like an. Oh, that's what he's talking about, right?
Yeah. Well, that one's going to live on, I have a feeling.
I'll do my best to let it die.